Welcome back. We're starting to going down with some of the final sanding down on this car here. We got Casey with us today. Casey is our painting extraordinaire. He's the one that does a lot of the finals and makes the cars look as good as they do. So Casey's going to go through a little bit about what we've got going on right now. We've done blocked out the car, and we've been working pretty hard on that. And what he's doing now is he's working on the final sand, which is a wet sand, and he's using a 400 grit. Show him what you got, Casey.
What we've done is we've got a car here that is horrible. We've sanded down with 180 and then come back with 320. We've done the body work on it, and then we've done about 4 different times we've primed and blocked it. And now what we're doing is take Scotch-Brite and wrap 400 grit sandpaper around it and use just a plain bucket of water. Don't have to be anything extraordinary in it, just plain water. And we started sanding the car, and what we're doing now is getting all the sand scratches and real fine scratches out of it and getting it ready to paint. What you'll do is you'll wet sand it and you'll get all the orange peel out of the primer. After that, because the temperature is probably about 45 degrees outside, I'll wet sand the whole car tonight and let it dry overnight. That way tomorrow when we come back, we'll wipe the car down again and wipe it with a tack rag and get all the dust out of it. We'll tape it up, and when you do your tack rag, you'll tack rag the car and the paper. Make sure you've got all the dust at a minimum, and then we'll start laying on the base coat. After that, we'll put the stripes on it and start laying down the racing stripes on this rig. And then we'll be ready for clear. The next stage will be buffing and wet sanding, and we'll get to all of that in due time.
All right, Casey, if you'll do me a favor and show them how you kind of want to wet sand this.
What you want to do is you get plenty of water on your paper, on your sandpaper, and you want to kind of go at an angle and in circles. And this is a scratch that old Spud there ended up giving me, but I'm going to end up sanding it and come back and repriming it. But the main thing you want to do is go in circles. And the reason that you have your sandpaper wrapped is because if you don't have it wrapped and you've got it in your hand like that, what it'll do is if you go like this, you'll end up seeing where all 4 of your fingers were. And that's something that you don't want to do. So all you want to do is just keep wet sanding it and get all the scratches out of it. Once you've done the whole panel, you'll come back and you want to dry it. When you got it dry, you'll be able to look at your primer and you'll be able to see your imperfections in it. You can see where that's not quite sanded right, exactly where we need it, because it's not smooth yet. It's small orange peel. And once you've done it for as long as I have, you'll be able to recognize that without it being dry. I know that it's not ready, but when that dries, you'll be able to see more about it. And you'll know that you've got to keep sanding it. But when you get all the orange peel out, it'll be extremely slick. And don't worry about that, because that gives good foundation for your color to lay down. And the best thing to do after you've laid your color down, sometimes it'll have some orange peel, and you'll want to come back and go over it with just a dry Scotch-Brite. And it'll also help get your trash off of it, and then you come back with a tack rag. You might want to wipe it with a tack rag 3 or 4 times and try to get your trash out of minimum.
All right, and it's very important that you go through this step and process, because whatever you put on top of this, it's kind of like anything else. Whatever your base is or your underneath is going to be, your top result's going to end up that way. When you put down a primer, you're going to think that feels smooth, and you think that feels really nice, and this is something you can put paint down on. But I can promise you, after what he's done right here, this is like glass, and that's where you kind of want to get to. Casey's one of the best painters I know, and it's very important that you go through this process. Not something I ever knew. Throw some primer down, you sand it off a little bit, and you throw your base on it.
The main reason why you want to come back and go over it is because if you've got orange peel in your primer, then you'll end up with orange peel in your color. You'll end up with a lot more orange peel in your clear, and you'll come back with your clear and 2,000 grit sandpaper, and you'll wet sand all of it down, and your clear will be real slick. But what you've laid down on top of won't be, and you'll be able to see that. and you'll turn a $3,000 paint job into a $15 mess. So keep that in mind, and y'all keep working on it.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is finish this, and then tomorrow we're going to do another video with him shooting the car and how you kind of want to lay down your base. But y'all keep watching, and we'll keep making. All right, thank you.